he should influence the behavior in such a way that they work voluntarily towards the achievement of organizational goals. Third one is leadership indicates interpersonal relations between leaders and followers. Whenever there is any change to be introduced in the organization, the changes will be resisted by the employees. Hello everyone, I am Purnima, faculty in the Department of Commerce, Vidhyaashram Pre-University College, Temple of Excellence. In this session on directing, having a discussion on what is the meaning of a leader, who is a leader, what is leadership, and what are the qualities of a good leader, and what are the different styles of leadership. Now, whenever we speak of an organization which is very successful, we just get a picture of the persons who are leading those organizations. Or we cannot imagine any organization without its leader. So, it may be a Microsoft organization, the leader, or it may be Infosys without Narayan Murthy, or Reliance without Ambani's. So, all these names which we always use in our daily lives, these names are synonymous with the successful leadership. Now, it is essential for all of us to know that this leadership is one of the elements of direction. So, any person who is directing or who is into management should be a good leader. If he is a good leader, he can lead the organization in achieving its organizational goals. So, in this session on directing, I will be taking up this element of leadership. Now, let us look into what is the meaning of the word leadership. Now, leadership is the process of influencing the behavior of people by making them strive voluntarily towards achievement of organizational goals. Now, we should understand that a leader is a person who can influence the behavior of his followers. So, a leader need not have any effort at all. By his mere presence in the organization, he can exert his influence on his subordinates. Here, the leader means it includes the manager of the organization. So, a person who is directing the organization, he should essentially be a good leader. Through his leadership qualities, he should influence the action of its subordinates. Now, what do you mean by influencing the action of his subordinates? So, a leader should be able to cast his influence on his subordinates in such a way that he will strive voluntarily. So, his actions, whatever the subordinate does, so it will be on the influence of the leader. So, the subordinate should just meekly follow whatever the instructions are offered by the leader. So, he should influence the behavior in such a way that they work voluntarily towards the achievement of organizational goals. So, there is no coercion, there is no force, there is no exertion, no effort on the part of the leader. By his presence or through his influence, he will make the subordinates work voluntarily towards the organizational goals. Then, next we should also understand what is the ability of the leader. The leadership indicates the ability of an individual to maintain good interpersonal relations with followers, motivate them to contribute for achieving organizational objectives. Here it is an elaboration of the meaning of the word leadership. So, we should understand that leadership indicates the ability of an individual to maintain good interpersonal relations with the followers. So, we should understand first the concept of the leader and the follower. Now, if we want to accept somebody as a leader, he should be a person, he or she should be a person who is most admired. So, a follower of a leader will just imbibe the qualities of the leader. He will be holding in great admiration. So whatever the leader tells, the followers should be ready to perform those functions or those actions. So in other words, the follower will just accept whatever the leader is telling. So in such a situation, if you have a manager of an organization who is a very good leader, that itself is a blessing to the organization. So his subordinates will meekly follow all his instructions and orders to see that the organizational goals are achieved. Now, here we should understand that a leader will not exert any pressure on the followers. He will just influence the individuals. He will just influence his subordinates to do the work. Now, while influencing, the leader should maintain good interpersonal relationships with the followers. So, the follower should be in such a way that he should be ready to do anything for the leader. So, in such a relationship, the leader can get the jobs very well done. Then, by maintaining good personal relations with the follower, motivate them to contribute for achieving organizational objectives. So, when he has a large number of followers, a leader can easily influence them. He can easily motivate them to contribute for the organizational objectives. So, we should understand that a leader is a person, or a leadership is a process of influencing the followers, or it is a process through which we cast an influence on the subordinates to achieve the organizational goals. So, a leader is a person who will guide, who will motivate, who will counsel, and who will be responsible for all the actions of his followers. So, a person who can be considered as a leader only if there are many followers. So, we should understand that leaders and followers are interdependent on each other. We cannot call anybody a leader if he has no followers. So, followers should have a leader. So, they both are interdependent on each other. So, whenever in an organizational perspective, we should understand that leadership is essential, most essential to run the organization, especially when you have so many persons working, or there are so many employees, more than thousands of employees working in a business organization. It is essential that the manager or the person heading the institution should have leadership qualities in him so that he can influence the action of his subordinates. Then, next, let us look into what are the features of a good leader. Now, here if you can see, this person is the leader and these are the followers. So, they are the followers and this is the leader. So, a leader is held in high esteem. So, the followers look up to him for his guidance. So, whatever action the leader does, it will be followed by the followers. You can take the example of film stars who are having a huge fan following. So, whatever the film star tells, his fans will be ready to do. The same way, whatever the leader of the organization is telling, the followers should be ready to do those activities. Now, let us look into the first feature of leadership. So, first feature of leadership tells us it indicates the ability of an individual to influence others. So, it is the inherent quality in the leader. So, he should have that commanding nature. He should have that communication skill. He should have that physical feature. He should have the knowledge. So, through all these qualities, he should be able to have an influence on his followers. So, the first feature of leadership tells us about the ability inherent in the leader. So, sometimes these leaders are born, sometimes they are made. So, based on the situation, the leaders are formed by the followers. So, we should understand that the leaders should have some basic qualities to be considered as a leader. Then, second feature of leadership is leadership tries to bring change in the behavior of others. So, leadership tries to bring a change in the behavior of others means through his influence, he should be able to change the behavior of his followers. Now, if you can see those religious leaders, they will be giving their talk on some of the topics which will just give rise to chaos in the society. So, such statements made by responsible leaders will try to harm the society. So, in other words, through his words, he will be influencing the people. So, this we should not try to do. Any responsible leader, he should understand that whatever words he utters will have an influence on his followers, and thereby they will be change in their behavior. So, the leader should conduct himself responsibly to see that the behavior of his followers will be in a positive manner and they should not harm the society in any way. Then, third one is leadership indicates interpersonal relations between leaders and followers. Yes, as I had told you earlier, we cannot consider anybody as a leader if he does not have followers. The same way, the followers will usually have one leader to whom they admire, to look up to admire, to whom they are fascinated or attracted. So, a leader and followers, they have an interpersonal relationship among themselves. Then, the next feature of leadership is exercised to achieve common goals of the organization. So, we can see here these are the goals of the organization. So, the common goals of the organization which the leaders, they are trying to make the followers achieve. So, whatever is the goals of the organization, they are to be clearly spelled out to the followers. Then, they should be able to make them understand how important it is to achieve the organizational goals. Only then they can see that organizational goals can be achieved. So, leadership is usually exercised to achieve the goals of the organization. Then, the last and the most important thing is leadership is a continuous process. Just like we say that management is a continuous process, we can always say that all the functions of management is a continuous process. Like we say that planning is a continuous process, organizing is a continuous process, staffing is a continuous process. In the same way, directing is also a continuous process. Now, why we call it as a continuous process? Because as and when new plans are made by the top management, they will have to be implemented by all levels of management, and at all levels we need to see that the plans are put into action. So, when the plans are put into action, we need the this function of directing. So, directing is through leadership is the most easiest way of getting things into action. So, we can safely say that leadership is a continuous process. So, as in any one of the projects get completed, so new projects will be coming to the forefront, and to achieve the new projects, so we need to have leadership. So, that is why we can say that leadership is a continuous process. Then, next, let us look into the importance of leadership. So, why it is important to have a leader? If you can see here, this person is a leader and he is attracting these followers. So, there is a magnet here. So, a leader should have a magnetic personality. So, he should draw the followers towards him. So, here you can see here, they are the subordinates and they are influenced by the leader. So, they are drawn towards the leader. So, a leader is having a magnetic personality. So, he draws the followers. The same way in an organization, the manager who is a very good leader will draw the attention of the subordinates. Now, let us look into the importance of leadership. So, leadership influences the behavior of people and makes them positively contribute their energies for the benefit of the organization. So, as I had explained earlier, the leader will be influencing the behavior of the people. Through his influence, he will be able to bring about a change in the behavior. Suppose the person has a negative attitude towards his job, through his influence, the leader can change the attitude of the person towards the job. He can build a positive attitude, motivate him, and see the employee will be giving his best towards achievement of the organizational goals, or whatever activities have been designed for each of the employee, he will be doing it with the most positive attitude and willingly do it. There will be no force or no coercion on the part of the leader. So, by his mere influence, he will be able to get the job done in the organization. Then, the second importance of leadership is he maintains personal relations and helps followers in fulfilling their needs. He provides confidence, support and encouragement, and thereby creates congenial work environment. So, a leader is a person who has many followers. And now, suppose there is any conflict among the followers, it will be leader who will step in and he will just iron out all the conflicts among the followers. So, leader is the person whom the followers will look up to. So, whatever the leader utters, whatever words he utters, it will be taken with lot of reverence and devotion. So, in order to influence the followers, the leader, he can help the followers fulfill their needs also. So, how he can help them fulfill their needs? By giving them the necessary motivation. So, he can instill confidence in his followers, he can support them, and he can also give them proper encouragement, so that through which he will create a congenial work environment. So, when the work environment is very good, all the employees will be able to work well, and as a result of which we can create a very good team in the organization. Then, the third importance of leadership is leader plays a key role in introducing required changes in the organization. He persuades, clarifies and inspires people to accept changes wholeheartedly. So, as we all know, whenever there is any change to be introduced in the organization, the changes will be resisted by the employees. So, it may be any change relating to policies or relating to any rules and regulations of the organization. So, it will be the leader's responsibility to persuade his followers. So, he should persuade his followers and clarify the doubts. For example, the management wants to bring in latest technology. The management wants to mechanize the whole system. So, workers or the employees will be scared, whether they will be fearing the loss of their job. So, they will resist all this sort of introduction of new technology. So, in such a situation, the manager or the leader should take them into confidence and counsel them that their jobs will not be lost, and this sort of mechanization will help them to produce more efficiently, and he will be able to counsel them and see that they respond positively to the changes being introduced by the management. So, he should persuade his followers, he should also clarify any doubts and also inspire people. So, he is a source of inspiration to the followers. So, in the same way, when he says that these changes are good for them, the followers will readily agree for any of the changes suggested by the leader. Then, the fourth importance of leadership is a leader handles conflicts effectively and does not allow adverse effects resulting from the conflicts. So, whenever there are a lot of people working in an organization, there are bound to be conflicts. So, a leader through his influence can just bring an end to any of the conflicts among the employees, and thereby he will not allow any adverse effect of the conflict. So a conflict between two individuals in the organization can just bring the organization to a halt. So we should try to see that any conflicts are resolved immediately and they do not go into serious proportions. Then next importance of leader is a leader provides training to the subordinates. Here you can see this person is the leader and these are the subordinates. So he is giving them training here. So the leader can give training to the subordinates. How he can give training? He can always influence them to do some challenging jobs, and when they are doing the job, he can always counsel them, supervise them, guide them and motivate them to do the job. And through his supervision and guidance, the employee will be able to do the job successfully. So in other words, the leader will be giving indirectly, he will be training his subordinates, he will be training his followers to occupy higher positions in the organization. Then next, let us discuss what are the qualities of a good leader. So, we all come across this saying that leaders are born, not made. But we can also see that there are certain leaders who were not born with certain skills, but they have imbibed certain skills and become good leaders. But we have also seen examples of people who had certain qualities of a leader, but they were not good leaders. So both are existing around us. Let us now see what are the qualities of a good leader. Now, in the qualities here, you can see here this person is leading. He is the leader and these are the followers. So, let us see what are the features of a good leader. First one is the physical feature. Physical feature is very important. If a person has if he has a very pleasing personality, if he has got a physical feature like height, weight, health, appearance, they all determine the physical personality of an individual. So, how the person appears, that is very, very important. The leader should have a pleasing physical personality. So, proper height, weight. For example, if you take the example of the cinema stars or the film stars, because of their physical appearance, they will be holding lot of fan following. So, through the physical features, they will attract the followers. Then, second quality of a good leader is knowledge. He should have the required knowledge and competence. So, a leader by mere his physical appearance, he cannot just become a leader. He should have the necessary knowledge. Suppose he is in the technical department, he should have entire knowledge of what is going on in the technical job, or whatever the job he expects his followers to do, he should have all the knowledge about it. And if he doesn't know, at least he has to just learn about the basic knowledge about the technicalities of the work to be done. Then suppose he is not in the production sector, then he should have a good knowledge of management and how to run the management. So knowledge is an essential quality of a good leader. Then third quality of a good leader is integrity. He should possess high level of integrity and honesty. So a dishonest person or a person without integrity, he cannot be a good leader. So a leader should be an honest person and with integrity, high level of integrity. Only then his followers will look up to him. So whatever he does or whatever he says, that will be taken with lot of reverence and respect by his followers. So it is essential for the leader to behave with integrity and honesty. Then the next aspect of a leader is initiative. He should not wait for opportunities to come his way. He should grab the opportunity and use it to the advantage of the organization. So, a leader is one person who should grab the opportunity. So, he will not wait for opportunities to come and knock at his door. So, whenever there are any opportunities, he should be able to identify what are the various business opportunities available and seize it and then use it for the benefit of the organization. So, he should be able to take the initiative, take the first step towards any business ideas or business prospects. So, he should be able to recognize what are the various opportunities available in the business environment. Then, next quality of a good leader is very good communication skill. He should be a good communicator. Now, why we tell he should be a good communicator? So, any person who cannot talk well, he will not be able to have an influence on others. So, a good leader should be able to talk well, how well he communicates. So, his knowledge, his experience, his honesty, his integrity, all this will be useless if he does not have the communication skill. A good orator, if he can, through his words, if he can influence the people, then we can consider him as a very good leader. So, communication skills are very essential for good leadership. So, through his communication skills, he should influence the behavior of his subordinates and thereby use the energies for benefit of the organization. Then, next one is motivation skills. A good leader should be an effective motivator. So, motivation is also one of the important elements of direction. So, a good leader should be a good motivator. And now the next quality of a good leader is self-confidence. He should have high level of confidence. A confident leader will have confident followers. So, leader should have self-confidence. Through his self-confidence only, he will be able to exert his influence on his followers. So, therefore, he should have confidence in himself. Then, the next important quality of a leader is decisiveness. He should be decisive in managing the work. So, a manager should know or a leader should know what is the work to be done in the organization, and he should know what is the right time to take the decisions. So, a decision taken at the right time and at the right place will give very good results. So, once he takes a decision, he should stick to his decisions and not be influenced by the by any of the comments made by his followers. So, decisiveness is an important trait of a very good leader. Then, social skills. A leader should be sociable and friendly with his colleagues and followers. So, just because he is a leader, he should not act high-handedly. So, he should not be a reserved. He should be social and he should be friendly with his colleagues and followers. Only then he will be able to get the things done in the organization. So, we have just discussed what is the meaning of leadership and what are the qualities of a good leader. Now, we will just look into what are the various leadership styles. Now, there are basically 3 styles of leadership. That is, first one is the autocratic style, second one is the democratic style, third one is the laissez-faire or free rein leadership. Now, in this we can see that the first type of leadership we call it as autocratic or authoritarian leader. As the name itself suggests, this sort of a person or this leader, he will be speaking with authority, or an authoritarian leader is one who will not listen to any of his followers, and whatever he says, he expects his followers to follow it blindly. So, he will not welcome any suggestions, any comments from his subordinates, and the subordinates have to follow his orders and instructions just meekly. Then an autocratic leader gives orders and expects his subordinates to obey those orders. So there will not be any suggestions which are open from the subordinates. Here you can see he is an autocratic leader. So he does not listen to any of his subordinates. So they have to just obey the instructions of the leader. So they are all the subordinates and he is just ordering them and they are just following them. So he will not listen to his subordinates. Then this leader is dogmatic. Now what do you mean by dogmatic? He does not change or wish to be contradicted. So an authoritarian leader, he does not want to have any contradictions. The followers have to just obey his orders. So it is quite effective in getting productivity in many situations. So quick decision making is also facilitated. So if you can see here, in this style of leadership, it really works in the production sector. So where the leader is the author, an autocratic style of leadership will work where there are lot of unskilled labor and they don't have any mind of their own, or they don't possess any educational or any other skills. So they will be just hired to do some labor oriented jobs in the organization. And in such a situation, a leader, an authoritarian leader or an autocratic leadership will work in such types of organizations. So here the followers will not have any skills and they will be just merely following the instructions of the leader, and it works very well because quick decisions can be taken and it can be easily implemented also. Then now let us look into the second style of leadership, that is democratic or participative leader. So democratic leader will develop action plans and make decisions in consultation with the subordinates. Here you can see the leader here who is explaining the plans and he is receiving suggestions from his subordinates. So the subordinates are consulted before taking any decisions. So here all the action plans are made with the help of subordinates, and subordinates also are in a position, they will be equally educated and they will have the proper skills, and so that they can give suggestions to the leader, and he will encourage them to participate in decision making, and they exercise more control by using forces within the group. Now here the subordinates will be able to influence the manager through their suggestions and through their groups itself. So they will be in a position to know what is right, what is the action plan, whether it is right or wrong, and how to modify the action plan to get the job done in a better manner. So this type of a leader, he will have good interpersonal skills with the subordinates and he will be as such a most popular leader. Then the third type of leadership is laissez-faire or free rein leader. You can see the leader here, he is relaxing. So this person is the leader. So what does the leader do here? The followers are given a high degree of independence to formulate their own objectives and ways to achieve them. So here the leader does not do any action plans or nothing. He does not have any meetings. He does not hold any consultation with the subordinates, but he will be just relaxing. He will just tell the target to be achieved. That's all. And the team will have to just achieve it. The team will have to see what are the various action plans to be formulated and how the goals are to be achieved, what are the objectives, etc. So all these things will be decided by the team and they will achieve the objective. The leader will just give them what is the goal to be achieved. So he is relaxing here. The group members work on their own task resolving the issues themselves. So the group members, they will not consult the leader at all, and whatever tasks are given, they will just do the task and any issues will be resolved among themselves. So we should at the same time, the subordinate assumes responsibility for the work to be performed. So here we should know that in case of a laissez-faire or a free leadership, the subordinate is fully responsible for the work to be done and he is answerable to the top management. So the laissez-faire leader would have certain rules to be followed. So while doing the work, a democratic leader may have to take his own decision in an emergency situation. So democratic setup, he cannot just consult his subordinates, he is free to take his own decisions, but a laissez-faire leader, he will also have his own set of rules to be followed. So I hope you have all understood this session on leadership, which is an element of direction. So in this session, we have discussed what is leadership, what are the qualities of a leader, features of leadership, and what are the various styles of leadership. Thank you.